Located in the rear left of the engine compartment, you have a grille that covers your three nuts that hold the top of the strut to the load-bearing member. Moving to this area, you have your pressure and expansion tank. On the tank itself, you have your coolant level sensor. Behind the expansion tank, you have your wiring harness. Behind the wiring harness, you have your weather stripping with information about the weather stripping. At your 6:30 o'clock position, you have your vehicle identification number. In front of the expansion tank, you have one of your dust covers for your air conditioning recharge point. To the left, you have your AC pressure sensor. In the 7:30 o'clock position, you have your cable to operate your bonnet latch. Going from the expansion tank, you have your expansion line. To the right of the expansion tank, you have your two pipes that are part of your fuel system. To the right of the pipe, you have your air conditioning pipe. Behind the pipe, you have your brake fluid tank. You have your gas strut. Below the tank, you have your master cylinder and pipes that goes to each of your brake circuits. Behind the master cylinder, you have your brake booster. Back in this location, you have your valve cover with your variable valve timing actuators. To the right, you have your dipstick. To the right of the dipstick, you have your cartridge-style oil filter housing. Towards the front of the engine compartment, you have your other dust cover for your air conditioning recharge point. In this location, you have your belt with alternator pulley. In the front left of the engine compartment, you have your washer with tank. To the left of the tank, you have one of your headlights. In this location, you have your intake manifold plenum, throttle body, and boost pressure sensor. To the right of the previous location, you have your air filter lid and Torx screws to hold down the lid. To the right of your air filter, you have your electrical connector for your engine control unit. To the right of the connector, you have your lid for your power distribution box. To the left of the ECU and surrounding the battery, you have your battery heat blanket. On the battery itself, you have your cover that covers your positive terminal, handles to lift the battery out of the car, battery monitoring sensor, negative post, and warning sticker. With the engine cover removed, you can see a component that's part of your crankcase breather system. Also, you have your fuel line that feeds and other components. In this location, you have your intake manifold runners, valve cover, coil packs, high pressure pump, and two of your variable valve lift actuators. In the rear of the engine compartment, you have your exhaust system and turbocharger. In the rear right of the engine compartment, you have your ABS modulator. On the modulator itself, you have your pump, two pipes for each of your brake circuits, and pipes that goes to each of your brake calipers. Looking down, you have your direct shift gearbox with shift cable and one of your oil coolers. At the bottom rear of the engine compartment, you have your propeller shaft and steering rack. Moving the camera to this location, you can see your oil filter for your direct shift gearbox. Thank you very much for watching my video and goodbye.